Hey there everyone. In this video I want to go through how to do these paracord bracelets, and the reason I want to do this is because I recently bought a bunch of these because I got a really good deal on them and I'm trying to figure out what to do with them now that I have them all. These are pretty cool. They've got the compass, the whistle. If you just push the compass up, you can unlock this. It's got the striker and the ferro rod in there, small ferro rod. These are 1-inch buckles. But anyway, I have these, and I'll have some of these Survivalcord bracelets at the SHTF shop if you want to grab those. If you don't want to make them yourself, but I'm going to show you how to make them yourself. With this, I wanted to use this Titan Paracord. It's called Survivorcord, and I'll leave a link to this, the Speedy Jig, and all this stuff below. But I want to use this stuff, and this is what I did on this one. It's called a King Cobra weave, and basically you just do the simple Cobra weave, and then you do another one over top of it. This Titan's Survivorcord though is really cool stuff, and like I said, I've done a video, but what it has the 6 strands of paracord. It's got jute twine, monofilament line, and a piece of copper wire. Really cool stuff. It is a little bit more expensive than just the regular paracord, but it is worth it. I wouldn't use it for everything, but it is worth it. Like you can see in here, it's got the six strands of paracord. You've got your one strand. You could do snare traps or whatever you needed to with the copper wire. You've got your monofilament line, which is basically heavy fishing line. You could do something with that, but the jute twine is kind of like a match. Just light that and makes it getting a fire started and all of that stuff pretty easy. But anyway, let me move all of this stuff. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the Survivalcord down below. Really cool stuff, but I've done shoelaces with it. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. I don't want to use all of it on this because it's about 24 bucks for 100 feet of it, whereas paracord is like 10 bucks. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Speedy Jig. The Speedy Jig is pretty cool, and I just got this. It's about $20, and what it comes with is the instructions. It tells you how to do the Cobra weave, tells you how to set everything up, and it comes with a little bit of paracord. I'm going to use this other stuff because I just don't want to make a blue one. Comes with the smaller buckles, but I'm going to be using the 1-inch buckles. Now when you set it up, you'll want to measure your wrist, and how you do that is just kind of go around and figure out how loose you want your bracelet to be, and then figure out how many inches that is. The one I'm making is going to be these are about 8.5 inches, and they fit where they're not too tight on my wrist. So with this has got the 3/8 and the 5/8 notches here. What you want to do is take this first notch. With these 1-inch buckles, you need to add an inch to it. So you take that first notch, and I want 8.5 inches, so I'm at about 9.5 inches right there. And like I said, all the instructions for that is in here. It just depends on the size of buckle you want. But anyway, what you do is you take one of the buckles. You're going to need 2 buckles for this, by the way. You take one of the buckles, put it on here, and then you take the buckle that you're actually going to use for this stuff, and I've got 2 strands of paracord right here, and the inner one is just going to be black. This one's 2-tone, and I can show you how to fuse that in a later video, but that's pretty easy. This one's black and yellow, but I'm just going to do the total black. I'm going to do one basically just like this. So you take your first strand, your inner strand, and what you want to do is get the ends together. Make sure you get a loop that's got even parts on it. And then what you want to do is take the loop and go from underneath up over it. And once you have that in there, then you just pull that out a little bit. Then you pull these strands through the center of it like that. Tighten that up. And then that will go right here in this piece. Then what you want to do is take these other 2 strands, kind of separate them out here. You want one strand to go through the top and down to the bottom. Keep that on this side. Then you want this other one to go through the bottom up through the top. Put it through like that. and you buckle that on there. And what's cool about this jig is you can do this without a jig. It just makes it a lot easier and you can get better knots with it. All right, so then what I do is the one that came through the top, you push that over. You just remember over, over, under, tuck, basically. So push that over, you push this one over that one, and you go under and tuck it through that loop. I don't know how well you can see that here on this video, but there are quite a few videos that kind of show you this. Now what you do is take the opposite one that you did. You started with this one, so start with this one now. Go over, or no, we started with this one. So start with this one now, go over, over, under, tuck. And then just kind of continue that process. You go over, over, under, tuck. Now, if you lose your spot, say you gotta run off to get something or you forget where you ended, somebody's talking to you, you can remember that with this, the little bumps over here, that's the side you want to start with. The one that's underneath, you don't want to start with that one. So the one with the bump, you go over and you bring this cord over that one, and then you take that and go underneath, pull it through, tighten it up. One more time, and then I'll fast forward this. You go over, over, under, tuck, tighten it up. Okay, and then that part's done. The cool thing about this Speedy Jig, it makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about all the other crap, and you can get uniform knots, the uniform thickness and uniform tightness, so it's really nice. At the end of this, what you do is you take this off, and then I'm going to cut these cords short here. I'll show you how to kind of seal it on there. So you cut that one off. And then what I do is just take a lighter, heat that up a little bit, and then I smash it down to kind of create a mushroom head type thing, so where it can't just come through. Then I'll do the same thing on this side. Singe that down. Push it in with the lighter, and that's pretty secure right there. Sometimes these do come off, it's just the way it is, but for the most part this is pretty secure. All right, so now that I've got this part done, I want to put the Titan Survivalcord on there. So what I do is take a piece, and you want this piece, even though it's only one wrap, you want this piece to be about the same length as your original. So I've got 8 feet here, might be a little bit extra, but I'd rather have extra than not enough at all. So what I'm going to do is you take this from below here, keep your center point, and that's the center point where my thumb is. Bring that under there, and you're basically going to do the same type of knot. So you're going to go over, you're going to take this one over that, and then you're going to go under and through. So the same knot, and then you'll want to make sure and get it in the right spot. It can be kind of tricky, but get it in the right spot right at the very beginning. And then the same rule applies. You've got that loop right there, so that's where you start. You go over, you go under, over, over, under, and through. It's a little tricky at first, but it's actually a really simple knot. Once you get it, you can just start cruising through it. We'll make sure that's up there and tight before we start the next one. And our next knot here is going to be this side, over, over, under, through. Tighten that up. And one more, and I'll speed this up. Over, over, under, around, and through. Tighten that up. All right, so you can see here, I'm going to forego the cutting these off because you've already seen how to do that, but pretty cool little bracelet. This jig makes it really easy to get nice, even, uniform knots, nice and tight without having to fumble around with everything. Like I said, I'll leave this link to the Speedy Jig at Amazon. It's about 20 bucks. I'll leave the link to the Titan Paracord. I really love this stuff. You can use this stuff to make shoelaces, all sorts of different things. Like I said, I wouldn't, if you want to do your whole bracelet out of something like that, you could. But with me, it's a little more expensive, so I use it sparingly, I suppose. But if you don't want to go through the hassle of making these yourselves, I do have these at the shtfshop.com. I even have some of the buckles themselves if you just want to get the buckles and make your own bracelet. I've got those. I'll leave a link to the SHTF shop as well. I'll have a couple of different colors. Not sure what I have right now, but eventually, you know, if people want them, I'll do all sorts of different colors. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below. Like I said, the Speedy Jig, pretty cool little setup, makes things a whole lot easier. It's got the feet on the bottom, so you can basically use it on any type of surface you want. Titan Paracord is just awesome stuff. Survivalcord is what it's called if you're going to look that up, or click the link below. But it's got all the different stuff. You can make snare traps. It's got the jute twine, it's got the fire cord, and it's got the 6 strands of paracord in there. So, but anyway, like I said, if you have any comments or anything, leave a comment below, and we'll talk to y'all later.